This is The Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. This Sunday, we will send a final letter to Engineer Raila Odinga. Mr. Odinga, sir, the Fort Hall School of Government has dissected you every Sunday because you are a rare political specimen. We admire the way you have conducted a first-class campaign using suspense, fear, and lies. Bravo, Engineer Raila. You have fooled the nation, and you're about to get away with it on August the 8th. But remember the words of Abraham Lincoln. You can fool all the people some of the time, and you can fool some of the people all of the time. But you cannot fool all the people all of the time. So far, you have fooled us, and we can confirm to the country that this Amolo man is good. He is very good. However, will you, Mr. Odinga, fool us if you lose? Will we allow you to take us down the path of destruction? Maybe, maybe not. And this is why we write to you, sir. We must inform you of the coming danger.
Dear Mr. Odinga, sir, at the Fort Hall School of Government, we have spent days studying the strategist who created Donald Trump from nothing. His name is Roger Stone, a fascinating political genius. One of the things he taught us is that the media is either evil or lazy. And for the most part, they are both evil and lazy. And if you understand this, you will control the nation. Mr. Odinga, sir, you are a student of Roger Stone. You discovered very early that the media is both evil and lazy. And this is why they gave you 90 minutes to talk to yourself in a stage-managed debate this week. You knew that Uhuru was in a double bind. If he attended the debate, he would have lost. If he did not attend, he would have lost. Either way, he was going to lose. Not because he is a loser, but because you, Mr. Odinga, controls the evil and lazy media. What is our point here, sir? You can fool us through the media sometimes, but you cannot fool us all the time. And you will not fool us into violence if you lose, sir.
Mr. Odinga, sir, William Shakespeare taught us that hell is empty. And this is because the demons are all here on earth. If this is true, we need to put a spotlight on the demons amongst us. And we will do so because of some things you have told us, sir. Did you tell us that the election will be rigged? Tick. Did you tell us that the military will rig it? Tick. Did you tell us that you have a parallel tallying center? Tick. Did you tell us that this center will declare Uhuru Kenyatta the winner if he wins? 0. Did you tell us that if you lose, you will not go to court? Tick. Did you tell us where you will go if you lose? 0. Did you tell us that you will go to the bush and swear yourself in as president? Question mark. Mr. Odinga, sir, you are toying with our families, and we are not amused. From the lake to the mountains, we are sick. If you lose for the 4th time, you are on your own. The coming war will be between Kenya and you.
Dear Mr. Odinga, sir, now we will turn to the coming danger. And on this, we will give you a story. Once upon a time, there was a Russian scientist called Ian Pavlov. One day, he decided to do some experiments on his dogs. He would ring a bell and then feed them. But because the dogs had been conditioned to salivate whenever the bell rang, Pavlov decided to ring the bell but not feed the dogs. Then he rang the bell a second and a third time, and the dogs salivated a river, but they received 0 food. At this point, Pavlov knew he had conditioned the dogs. Mr. Odinga, sir, you are trying to condition our minds. You are trying to ring the bell of Canaan, yet you do not even know what direction Canaan is. You're trying to condition us to believe that the election will be rigged by the military. That you will ring a bell and your dogs will salivate in support of Baba. 0. Mr. Baba, sir, instead of salivating, your dogs of experiment will bite you, and they will bite you real hard.
When Gaiseri was assassinated, if indeed he was, I posed a question. I submitted that his death was a blind spot in this election. We never saw it coming. Then I asked the question, how many more blind spots lay ahead? I had no idea that an attack on William Ruto would be the next blind spot. We never saw it coming. And this is why I need to explain this attack, if indeed it happened. Did you know that if a presidential candidate or his running mate die before August 8th, the election will be postponed until October? And the question we must pose in this situation is the following. Who would benefit from extra time? Who would need this extra time till October? If you identify the beneficiary, then you would identify the attackers of William Ruto. But I have another theory here. This attack was not targeted at William Ruto. 0. It was a signal to the 6 nondescript running mates that ride in matatus and Ubers, higgledy-piggledy all over town. If the attackers of Ruto would dare, they will melt these running mates like chocolate soldiers, in my view. And if they take out one of them, the election will be postponed to October. And the question we must pose at this point is who would benefit from such a situation?
Dear Mr. Odinga, sir, military documents do not leak. And if they leak, the military never comments on the leakage. It does not deny or admit the existence of such documents. It goes mum. And that is standard practice. Even my grandmother will tell you that. Mr. Odinga, sir, it is therefore curious that some military documents were leaked to you in the morning, and by evening, the KDF spokesman was quick to tell us 2 shocking things. 1, he confirmed the leakage, and this was worrying. But even more worrying was the second thing. He confirmed that the documents were authentic. By extension, he said that all your claims, sir, were authentic and true. That indeed, the military will cut off electricity and water in some areas, and that they will transport ballot papers in order to rig. To admit that this scheme is authentic is out of character. And this is why we put it to you, Mr. Odinga, that the KDF spokesman is your agent. And if this is true, sir, your scheme to destroy this country is more elaborate than meets the eye.
And now, our final thought. Mr. Odinga, sir, if the trusted KDF spokesman is your agent, how many more agents do you have in KDF? We ask this because, according to Sanzu, the public can tell the condition of a whole army from the behavior of one soldier. If there is insubordination with one soldier, there is insubordination amongst many more. If one soldier is executing your scheme, how many more soldiers will execute your scheme? Have you infected elements of KDF with insubordination, sir? Let me put this question differently. You have accused Uhuru of using KDF to install himself for a second term. Is it possible that you are the one who actually intends to use rogue KDF elements like the spokesman to install yourself? Because you are an expert at playing with our minds, are you playing reverse psychology on us? Are you blaming Uhuru in advance for all the KDF things you intend to do? Mr. Odinga, sir, you can fool all the people some of the time. And you can fool some of the people all of the time. But you cannot fool all the people all of the time.